Hey, what's up, guys? It's Classic 1333 coming to you live from the usual place. Webcam computer, but different day, different time. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Hey, it's 66, 2/3%. Can't go wrong with that. Okay, so I'm gonna go through my raw review here and give thoughts and opinions and all that fun jazz. Before I jump into it, when you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. And this is what I'm looking at. Little chicken scratchy notes. Try to remember stuff off with memory. So, okay, let's jump into the show. The first thing we have is an opening promo with Jericho and Orton in the ring. Jericho's all complaining how JBL's victory and the Fatal 4 from last Monday night's Raw was bullshit. Basically, because him and Michaels were in collusion or something, and it's allegedly against the rules because it's every man for himself in a Fatal 4-way. So, Orton's agreeing with them, and then JBL comes out and Shawn Michaels comes out with them, and then they're just like, whatever. JBL could care less. He's like, oh, it's not like anything you guys would do, blah blah blah. And then Stephanie comes out and she says like, oh, since JBL did hit him with a clothesline from hell, it counts. So it wasn't, a collusion, conspiracy, whatever. Any more adjectives you can come up with. So the decision stands. There's no rematch. JBL faces Cena at Royal Rumble. Whoop de doo. They've only had this match a million times. Uh, so let's see. But she announces later tonight's main event's gonna be Jericho and Orton versus HBK and Cena. What was the term? Um, I don't know. I guess it's to test how much HBK's credibility is left. They had another word for it. I don't remember it. We're gonna say credibility or infidelity or some shit like that. Maybe that was the word. I don't know. So our first matchup for the night is Santino Marella and Beth Phoenix versus Melina and Goldust. Mixed tag match or whatever. Um, Pretty short matchup. Basically, it was Santino being goofy and being like, I've got this," and Goldust is like, or whatever. Goldust is a weird character, but it's cool having him back, I guess. Because he's like an older school character. He's a guy I saw growing up. A bunch of other people too. So the finish was Melina won the match. She did like a top rope face buster X Factor type move, and then she did what's called, I guess, a jackknife pin or something. If you watch SummerSlam 2002 with Shawn Michaels versus Triple H, it's basically that roll up pin that Shawn Michaels did to beat Triple H in that matchup, except the little Matrix bridge move that Trish Stratus does. That's the finish of that one. And then Melina tried getting attacked by Beth Phoenix's number one fan, Rosa Mendez, I think her name was. I didn't catch the show last week, but I'm guessing she's some new chick that's going to be in Beth's corner for a while or something. So this might be interesting. We'll see where it goes from there. Let's see. CM Punk does a quick little interview. Just talks about how the Intercontinental title was such a huge, cool thing for him growing up, and he saw Ricky Steamboat, and he liked champions like Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart, and who was the third guy? He said, I don't know. Owen Hart was another one. So basically, he just says like he wants to be champion, and Intercontinental champion is a big thing he'd like to do, or follow in that legacy or something. Just kind of funny because it sounds more important than him being world champion at one point, but whatever. So then we got our matchup: CM Punk versus William Regal for the Intercontinental title. Um, this was like too short of a matchup. This was way too short of a matchup. I mean, it was okay for what it was, but it was way too short. I know they're just starting the rivalry, but yeah, it was too short. One thing I thought was funny during the match was um, Punk was gonna go for like a dive at Regal, and Regal pulled Layla in front of him as a shield, and Michael Cole's like, "Oh, what a wussy coward," or whatever. And what was funny later in the match was when Regal got the upper hand, he looked at Layla and was like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." It was pretty funny. I didn't like the finishing of the match at all, though, because Like Punk was going for the go to sleep on Regal, and then Regal grabs the ref's shirt, won't let go, and then it's a disqualification. Doesn't make any sense. He was just trying to, keep himself from getting the hit with a go to sleep or something. Now I know you can't touch the refs in the matches, but it wasn't like he like intentionally like, shoved him or clocked him or anything. That's what they should have did with the disqualification finish. Like Regal like should have got mad that Punk kept kicking out of some moves or something and just looked at the ref and just punched him and then, DQ or something. That would have made more sense, I think. But that's just my thing. So what do we have next? Little backstage interview promo thing with JBL and HBK. Basically, JBL is telling HBK that if he super kicks Cena, he's gonna win lottery with him or something, or if Orton punts him, or Jericho gives him a code breaker or something, he'll get some cash or whatever. Um, whoop de doo. Let's see, what do we have next? Orton's backstage with Rhodes, or not Santino, Rhodes, and Snuka. He basically says you have to win your match tonight, and you're in or you're out or something. And then Manu shows up, and Orton's like, "You didn't win your match, so you're not advancing." Whoop de shit. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then Orton was like, "I never want to see you again," or whatever. "I never want to see you again." Too bad. He's on the Raw brand. He'll see him again. So yeah. So let's see. They show Rey Mysterio and Kofi coming to the ring. While that's going on, what's her name? Mickey James gets to meet Dolph Ziggler. "Hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler." Yeah, and she's a Raw diva. Rock on. Actually, Dolph Ziggler sucks. If Dolph Ziggler came up to you, he was like, "Hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler." You should be like, "Hi, Dolph Ziggler. That's my ass." That's what I think of you. That'd be funny. Okay, so what's next? We have Miz and Morrison versus Mysterio and Kofi in a tag match. This was a pretty cool tag match, I thought. Morrison and Miz did a good job making fun of the crowd before it. I think the show was in New Orleans. They were like, "It's kind of cool how New Orleans became the murder capital of the world," blah 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 or something. That was kind of funny. Kind of an interesting fact too. I didn't know that. Um, yeah, it was a pretty cool matchup. The finish saw Morrison get the victory. Like Mysterio went for a springboard move or something and got caught with like Morrison giving him like a kick or something right in his. I think it was right here, like in his chest or something. So that was pretty cool. And then after the match was over, Mike Knox comes out and attacks Rey Mysterio again. I'm freaking tired of this Mike Knox thing or something. I mean, like, he's not that good of a wrestler, and it's like, why is he on the show, period? Like, all he does is, like, attack Rey Mysterio. I mean, like, Stephanie's probably, like, in the office, and she's like, "Okay, Rey Mysterio's done wrestling. Like, go out there and beat him up again. Go out there and beat him up again." It's just stupid, you know? I don't know. I'm not into Mike Knox at all. I'm not. When's he gonna actually wrestle Mysterio one on one? I bet like it's gonna be like 10 months from now, and then like Mike Knox will still be beating up Rey Mysterio. Mysterio will be like, "Oh, whatever. I'm used to it. I'm used to getting my ass kicked every week by Mike Knox. Whatever." It's a stupid storyline. They need to like end it or just have Mysterio just beat him and just be done with it. Oh well. I don't have much time left on this part one, so I'm gonna jump to part two.